Thank you for listening to We Need to Talk with Solana. Hit that like button, share, and leave a comment. Let us know what issues are important to you. And the regulations that are disastrous in that. It's all done
Right.
by these insurance companies and the pharmaceutical companies. I mean,
Right. Ron and I, Ron and I were just talking about that the other day. DeSantis here in Florida is
mhm.
trying to, open it up for Canada or whatever. And, Trump is saying that he wants to get rid of just the monopoly that these three pharmaceutical companies have and open it up. But the only issue that I have with that, although it's a wonderful idea, the only issue that I have with that is we have so many things coming out of countries like China that are actually killing us and killing our animals, and they're doing it on purpose.
Mhm.
So if we open up
So are the
the
pharmaceutical
ability,
companies, though, too.
right, so if we open it up to all these other countries to get our pharmaceuticals from, they now have the ability to kill off millions of us
Sure.
with a simple drug.
hmm
So
Well, they already did
it's
that. That's why fentanyl is so big. I know fentanyl is used in the United States to lace other drugs, but also to use against kidnapping, for kidnapping and keeping those kids drugged and
right,
to where they can't try and escape or don't think to escape or they keep those. That fentanyl is a big one that's already
right.
been being used like that. And it's from China. It's coming from China. They outlawed it, thank goodness. They put a thing on it, saying that it's a outlawing fentanyl, but
Right.
it's just they're already doing it. They're like I said, there's so many things that are seated in our everyday basic needs that are already they're corrupt, they're infiltrated, and they're killing us.
Right.
Literally. I mean, even the fluoride in the water. I mean that one of Stone's biggest thing everybody talks about is the frogs are turning gay. It's a true story. The scientist who looked that up was testing our fluoride. And so they
Right.
started taking all these things apart and, testing these frogs with it. And they realized frogs were now changing their sexual orientations. It's true. And that's why
They
you
now
can
have
say you can
scientific.
say that we are just as genetically modified as the fruits and vegetables that we're eating. Because
Absolutely.
I remember being in one of the first groups of kids that getting vaccines before it was, regulated in school. They tested it on us military kids.
Mm-hmm.
And before I got, and I was like probably, I don't know, 6 or 7 when they started all that on us. But it was like it changed me from even what I was then. Because I would feel different with foods that I ate. I felt different with jewelry that I would wear.
Right.
I mean, it was like I'm changing my body. So I can only
Mm-hmm.
imagine getting pregnant, and then you're taking something genetically modified and mixing it with God's given, God, whoever made this body knew what they were doing. That's all I can say. And
Oh
they're
yeah.
messing it up.
Right.
They mess with it.
Right.
That's why here we are, stuck in this
Okay.
loop of now genetically modified,
Right.
you know,
Right. Absolutely.
generations. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So yeah.
You know, when you're thinking
Yeah.
about it, it's like, damn it, I'm 55 years old, and yeah, I see it.
Look at peanut allergies.
Oh,
When we were
never
growing
heard of
up,
that.
did you know anybody who was allergic to a peanut?
No,
My
food
son's
allergies in
my
general.
son is my son is 3.
Yeah,
Okay, in his generation, peanut allergy.
yeah.
Nowadays, it's like
His children.
peanut dust, and you're dying.
hmm
So where did that come from?
Yeah. Because
You
something
know,
genetically in the crap that they're feeding us and making us into ain't meshing. I mean, it's just like any food allergy is because your system can't handle what is. People say, well, you need to be a vegetarian. Well, no. If God, meant for you to eat meat, vegetables, fruit, the whole gamut, but your body is so disturbed now, it's rejecting. It's
right,
rejecting. It's not. It's
right,
not allowing. And it's. I don't know if you. You increasingly notice it as you're getting older. Because your body naturally does go through changes.
right,
But there's things that are forced on me that I'm just like, wow, where'd that come from? How is it that now I'm allergic to that?
right.
And I wasn't
Yeah.
5 years
Listen,
ago.
I'm Italian. I grew up with eggplant parmesan.
hmm
Love eggplant parmesan. When I hit my 20s, my mid to late 20s, all of a sudden I'm allergic to eggplant.
Yeah. Like what?
I'm Italian. I grew up on the crap.
Right.
How can I be allergic to eggplant?
Yeah, it's not the eggplant. It's the your body rejecting whatever genetically modified crap is going
Exactly.
on and interacting now with what we're taking in
Exactly.
our body and our body. It's in a
And then,
fight.
yep. And then you have the farmers that aren't doing GMO farming, right? And what's happening is their plants are becoming GMO because it gets carried in the wind,
Hmm.
and people don't realize this.
Yeah,
And it infects the real food.
everything. Yeah,
It's
right.
like
Turns it
people.
all into GMO. It's like the Borg. There's no resistance. It's futile to resist. We will take you over, and
Yeah,
that's how
and
this nanotechnology works.
I love when people say, "Oh, I only eat organic food."
If you only knew what that organic meant, honey. If you only knew. And they don't even know about biosludge. Biosludge is not something that's even on people's brain or in their vocabulary today, but it is liquefied human beings that they
Yep.
sell and they put into fertilizer. They put it into food products.
Do you
Um,
remember the movie Soylent Green when we were kids? There was a movie called Soylent Green.
Soylent Green,
It
yeah.
was,
Yeah.
remember? It was where
Yeah.
there was really no trees or anything and no food, and there was a specific food that the government was feeding us, and it was human
Yes.
biosludge.
Biosludge. People have no idea. That's why Planned Parenthood makes so much money because they sell the fetuses, and it goes into this biosludge. All the medical waste from hospitals and doctors' offices and whatever
Yep.
it goes into
Where
our
do
system.
people think it goes?
Hello.
Oh,
I
it's
mean,
a
did you
special.
hear last year? I think it was there was a train that was stuck in somewhere. It was full of shit. It was full of crap.
Really?
Yes, because they sell it to the manufacturer. I mean, to the manure and fertilizer and
Wow.
pesticides, and it's we're
Yeah, I
it's, we're
missed
eating
that.
it. We're sprayed on it.
Yeah.
And I think it's made us complicit also in their cannibalistic rituals.
Yeah, could be.
It's like they're
Could be.
setting us. Everything is they set up for us to partake in what they're
Yeah.
doing, to set us up to be complicit in what they're doing, and now we need to feel guilty because we're partaking, even though we don't know. Again,
Right.
we ain't got all the information.
Right.
Somebody's
Absolutely.
withholding
That's
some
it.
crap here,
Mhm.
but
They see, it's like, okay, typically you go to the doctor's office, right? They either take blood or they give you an injection or whatever, right? So now they take that needle and they put it in the safety container that's clearly marked biohazard, right? And people look at that and go, oh, okay,
it's
so
safe
that's
now.
safe.
They're going to dispose of that.
Where does it go?
Yeah.
Where does it go? People don't follow that chain. Okay, great. So he was careful. He wore his gloves, and he got them out of sterile packages,
Yeah.
and he did his thing, and then he popped it into that little white box with the biohazard
Yep.
written on it, and everything is perfect.
Everything's good.
Where does it go?
Hmm.
Do you ever see a specialized garbage man going to doctor's offices and hospitals to pick up the stuff?
No.
No, me either.
It goes in the trash.
Honestly, I never even thought about that until just now.
Oh.
Like, is there a specialized garbage
There's
company
supposed to be a biohazard, yes. But at the same time, I know that in Florida, when I lived there, every year they collected whatever they considered to be biohazard, and the regular trash man would come by and pick it up, and it was specifically supposed to be disposed in a certain way, but it all goes to the landfill.
right? But even if it didn't go to the landfill and it went to how it was supposed to specifically be disposed of, exactly how was that? What is supposed to be the proper? Because you can't burn off blood, right?
Right.
Blood doesn't. I learned that from my niece because she is actually licensed to do cremations, and she
That's what they
explained
train it.
that.
Yeah, they have to drain your blood and.
No, 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 no. You go into the oven, blood and all, but there are separate chambers that A, catch your blood, and that B, the fluids, the bodily fluids, your blood and other fluids and stuff, drain into a separate area.
Right.
Because you can't burn it off.
Right.
So I think that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, more biosludge. Where do they dispose of that? Who do they sell
Yeah,
that to? Everything is a product now. Everything is a
right.
product. Nothing just gets wasted. Everything gets sold to the highest bidder.
Mm.
Like, and where they put it and how they're using it. People, I mean, it was even listed on the products. What I can't remember what cereal it was, but it had a word in there that meant a aborted fetus. It's the chemical from aborted fetuses, and it's in that product.
Yeah. I'm
And
trying to think of. You're
you know
absolutely
what I'm
right.
talking about, right?
Yes. I think that, like in shampoos and stuff, they used to have it. I think it was listed under animal protein.
Mm. Yeah, that's how this
I
does.
think that that's what it was under. I don't know what it's under now. It's just like aspartame. Once everybody got,
Rise
you
to
know,
it, they changed the name.
oh my God, it's changed like 9
Yeah,
times.
yeah.
Now they actually can legally list it as natural flavors.
Hmm. Oh my God, the things they list as natural flavors. People
Yeah.
have no
So when you
idea
say
what they
natural
use.
flavors, it's artificial sweetener in there. It's chemical base.
Hmm.
It's like, oh, hey, I got a glass of prune juice, little flavors. You're assuming it comes the
Yeah.
natural flavor. Comes from the
No.
natural.
That
Nah.
could be beaver anus crustacean. I mean, come on, they use that stew. It's in the
Yeah,
peanuts. It's one of the things listed that, even again, they give it this name. You don't know what it means.
right.
Considered natural flavoring or animal byproduct, but
Look at Wonder Bread. I'm not really sure if they still do it or not, but years ago you learned, Wonder Bread was always the freshest bread ever,
right,
right? It would stay around for a while. That and maraschino cherries, or whatever.
maraschino.
Their
Yeah,
their preservative that they use is formaldehyde, the thing that you embalm people with.
right.
That's what some
Yeah,
of our products are using for preservatives,
yeah,
embalming fluid.
yeah. But people
But
want to
then if
talk
you
about climate change and living wage, but
right,
it's like
right, but then if you take that same formaldehyde and you lace pot with it, you trip on it. That was called angel dust.
oh, right, right.
Angel because it's from dead people. It's a dead thing,
Hmm.
and it just so you can trip on it in one form, but they use it in your food as a preservative in another.
Or bob your body. Mm. Mm-mm.
Right? It's mindful.
It is the whole thing. And I think that's why we feel so much weight. It's just a weight that I feel
Yeah.
concerning the world, and I pray for the world every day.
You know, the more you think about things like that, and it branches, because you can start off with the simple P, and by the time we're actually done, well, not even done, but done
Oh
with
gosh,
particular conversation, we can go
this
so far.
conversation is a perfect example of that because we started out.
Yeah, wasn't this supposed to be about
Is
doing
this
a
a
reading?
reading? Yeah. We're doing a reading. I started talking about your body and how you're feeling it and you're carrying it and in that stress, and then, but you must have needed to talk about it and let it go, because that's the other thing too. We're so politically correct, or I call PC publicly Christian. We can't talk about anything. We're so offended because we're taught that we created everything, so it's all your fault,
I'm not. I'm not offended. The only thing that offends me is your stupidity.
right?
That's
Yeah,
that's the only
your
thing that
ignorance,
offends
because that just means you don't know
me.
something and you need to learn it.
Right. The willingness to stay ignorant or
Yeah,
to stay stupid.
yeah.
If somebody says to you, "Hey, I got this pen,"
Hmm.
and they're like, "Oh yeah, I got the same pen. They're great. I pay like only $4 for it," and I look at them and I go, "No, I got this in a package of 12 for $4.
Hmm.
No, you didn't.
Yeah,
That's not possible."
yeah,
Gone.
yeah.
Those are the only things that offend me,
Hmm.
is people that, instead of looking at me and maybe making their case and saying, well, perhaps they look identical, but maybe the ink that they use is different, or maybe they put more ink in my pen and this is why it's more expensive. Instead of having that conversation about why two pens that look alike can cost such differences,
Right.
they would rather just tell you, I don't know, that you're racist against black
Yeah.
pens.
I know. I was listening to an interview, and this guy that I watch because, whatever reason, some of the stuff he does is good. Some of it, anyway, he had on someone who was apparently a fifth degree Mason, and he didn't realize the guy was a fifth degree Mason or 33rd degree. What is it? Not fifth degree, but anyway, he's a Mason. And the guy just freaked flip out and cut off the interview, refused to have a conversation with him because of the history of what he thought this guy
Right,
was all about. Instead of
right,
going, dude, what's up? Why have a conversation?
right,
What is about them? And let me learn from you. Instead, he cut it off.
right,
And it's
right.
like, oh, okay. Well, now there's sometimes we need to have that conversation, which is probably most of the time. We need to talk. We can't get past
Yeah.
anything if we're just stuck in our rut, in our rut,
I mean,
in our.
even if you go into a conversation with somebody of the mind of, all right, I'll listen to what they have to say, but it's not going to change my mind. And even if you walk away from that conversation going, yeah, okay, I listened, I still believe the same.
Yeah,
That's fine.
yeah.
That's absolutely fine. That's perfect
Hmm.
because you opened yourself up to having a conversation with somebody, not shutting the other person down because they don't believe things the way that you do,
Right,
not shouting them down or yelling accusations at them or whatever. You
right.
sat and listened.
Yeah.
It may not have been with a completely open mind, but at least you allowed the other person to voice their opinion the way that you want people to allow you to voice yours.
Yeah, I look at it like when someone else is giving me an opposing thought or something, I'm like, wow, there's more information out there neither one of us have. Because we
Mm-hmm.
both come to these conclusions with this limited information. So I think we need to
Right.
explore this more. We need to
Right.
talk more.
Absolutely.
We need to, take that further and not just be complacent because we are. But we're programmed to be
Right.
complacent. We're programmed to
Now,
not question.
now,
Thank you for having a conversation with me at least, and we will get with you for the other part later. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much.
you too, sweetie. Thanks for the stimulating conversation.
No doubt, no doubt. We'll do it again.
Yeah, very cool. All
Cool.
right. Talk to you soon, hon.
Okay. Thank you for listening to We Need to Talk with Solana. Hit that like button, share, and leave a comment. Let us know what issues are important to you.